Namaskaram. Um, Let me just check if the audio is on. Am I audible? If on the chat, if somebody can respond. So, okay. Yeah, so it's audible. I thought till few more people join, I'll just update what's happening in the last few months since January. I've been traveling to a few places here in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, South Kerala, and meeting a few people regarding Agastyamuni, people who are practicing different art forms um, for uh, the name of Agastyamuni. And then we went to Bali in January once, and then again in April, because we found lots of connections to Agastya Muni. So we spent more time there, meeting a few people, shooting few temples where there are statues of Agastya Muni, few outside and few inside chambers, which are open only once in a year. Bali is a totally different world altogether. It's different from India, Bharat to Bali. That's the title that probably the first episode on Agastya Muni would be. Bali is a totally different world altogether in comparison to what we see in Bharat in terms of the temples and rituals. Bali doesn't have the kind of temples that we know here in Bharat. They are more less of deities there. There are platforms or uh, pedestals, but it's empty. It's more like a sankalpa pradishta kind of thing. And every house has a temple. That is something that just having a temple is not enough. The rituals that they do very religiously, morning and evening, offering, expressing their gratitude. It was an amazing thing. Because of that, I think it's my personal opinion that there is a certain buzz to the whole island. Um, there are so many temples. There are village temples. There are house temples. There are lake temples, mountain temples. Everywhere you see there are temples. But the rituals that are going on, you cannot miss it. When you're driving on the streets, when you're staying in a homestay, everywhere, the kind of humbleness, the humility that these people have. Uh, so, as I had posted in the uh, Instagram and a few other social media, that me meeting Park Sugi Lanus was a big turning point because 2019 I had gone to Southeast Asia, Cambodia and Indonesia, wanting to find some clue as to where Agastya Muni, his footprint basically. There were lots of things we found parallels, but there was no solid evidence. And meeting Sugilanus was a major turning point because he has been collecting the lontars, the palm leaf manuscripts from around Bali for the last 15 years or more. But the last 2 years, suddenly his interest changed towards um, Agastya Muni. Even the house that he's staying, he has named it as after Agastya Muni. So meeting him was a big turning point. He showed lots of references where Agastya Muni's name comes up in the Indonesian Javanese script. So those were the things that changed. And okay, volume is low. I don't know how to increase the volume on this. Is it okay? The volume? So Java, you don't see much of deities in Bali, but in Java you have lots of temples similar to Bharat, and there you have statues, deities of Agastyamuni within the niches in the main sanctum itself. Like you would see major temples like Prambanan, for example. They have Shiva deity inside, and around you will see this is a replica that you see everywhere. Agastya Muni, Mahishashura Mardini, and Ganesha. These three deities are always around the Shiva's sanctum, and that way the imprint was there, but we couldn't find written evidences. And Sugilana showed a few, but most of the manuscripts that he has are from the 14th century onwards, later. So he also relies on going to these temples for evidences. So he referred a few, at least 8 temples that he had mentioned in Bali, I visited, and 5 other temples in Java. Java and Bali, the contrast is Hindu culture. The Bali itself is, you can say, a Hindu island. Majority, more than 85% is Hindus. But in Java, the whole thing is different. There's a stark difference in, there are no practicing Hindus per se. Temples are there, many temples are there, but you will see they are all maintained by the archaeology department. Very rarely people come and do rituals there, but it's mostly archaeological. Another thing that is very stark for me was here in a temple, we remove our chappals and all that and then walk in. There, they wear the chappals right till the sanctum and till they start the rituals. They remove the chappals and sit on the chappals and then they do it. Um, Except a few places where, like the Mahishashura Mardini temple in Bali, Durga temple, there they make you remove your chappal and then climb the stairs and go. It's like in a uh, foresty ambience. Other than that, and you will see people smoking inside the premises, even the priest. So our idea of morality and the rules and regulation that we follow is totally different from how I noticed in Bali. Lots of people typing lots of things. I can't read it now. That's why in advance I had asked for questions. So we'll look at the questions a little later. Um, so Agastya, first episode, mostly I'm trying to release one within this month of May. Um, so that's the aim. And I had released a video on why we are doing, why it's important to document his life. Um, Having been with Sadhguru and having seen him express how all the work that is happening today, what he's doing is an extension of what Agastyamuni's work has been in this land. So that is something that I want to document, and it's important that temples today, there is a big gap between individuals, Hindus, and the temples. There is no connect as it used to be, and creating that connect between the temples and us. Looking at temples as spaces for tools for transformation is something that I'm trying to do instead of places of worship. So these workshops that I'm doing right now, planning in the US, and we'll be starting also Zoom workshops um, for everybody, because people are asking why only US you are doing. It's just that right now the need is there, so we are doing it as a fundraiser towards Agastyamuni series. But otherwise, I'm planning to start Zoom workshops every month, at least one. One topic we will choose and do a 1 hour, 1.5 hour workshops. We'll see the pricing. I don't want to keep it for a price, but there'll be certain minimum cost. I want a certain commitment also for people who join the session to stay there. In lives, I know people come, go, or switch between tabs, which I also do when I'm watching other lives. So, Zoom workshops we'll be doing. People are also asking for live workshops in other cities. We'll see, we can slowly take it forward. The main focus right now is to make videos because it's an easy way to reach more and more people. The very first question that somebody had sent when I posted about this live was uh, Revan SH108 asking, when are you releasing the series about the exploration of Daiva culture like Kantara in different states? I I know I released a trailer, almost a teaser a year back, but I haven't been able to finish that. I feel like, I'm answerable to. It's like a kid who has not done his homework and now has appeared in front of the teacher. Yes, these are all under progress. There is lots actually. If I can just sit and start editing, there can be lots of videos. We will start. We are hiring an editor also, so that these things can go out. Um, yes, the significance of people to connect to the rituals, the science behind it, our customs and traditions. This is very important. People are working towards Sanatana Dharma in various different ways. People are fighting in the forefront, advocacy, people are doing on the ground, protests and legal things are being done. But it should not become like one against the other. Yeah, it should, because if you have hatred and then you want to go and protect Sanatana Dharma, this is not going to sustain for long. We need to know what are we fighting for, what are we standing up for. So if you don't value what you have, eventually you will not know what you're fighting for. So that is something that we need to spread. More and more people need to start talking about the temple rituals, the science behind it, the benefits that they have derived by attending these rituals. I'm even planning to do Zoom workshops for people who are interested in making videos, because this is simple. Like within 1.5 hour session, I can train people on how to shoot with your mobile and edit and post it on social media. This is very important that we get involved in the local community temple and participate in the ritual. Community. One thing that I noticed in Bali, I asked a few people, how did you sustain in an Islamic nation to remain Hindus without getting converted? So they all pointed out to a system which is called Banjar. Banjar is like a temple community. Every temple in every village has a community called Banjar, and they all come together weekly once compulsory, more than once also in some cases, and they have a certain, like, compulsorily you have to attend the rituals that are happening in the temple. If you skip more than two consequently in succession, then you are fined. So that's how strict they are. I met a friend who runs a company in Indonesia. He was saying, the local Balinese are so unreliable that every other day they will say we have a ritual in the temple and you know put leave and go away. But that's how sincere they are in attending to it. And that's one thing that in India we have lost it. Going to the temples and participating in rituals has gone away, mainly even including me. When I grew up, I wouldn't go and sit in a ritual because nobody explained to me what the ritual is about, and if you ask questions you are just told to shut up and just sit. So the need is there because we have all become thinking human beings, intellectuals. So we need explanations. So the language, the narrative has to change. That what will you get if you attend a ritual? What will you get when you go to a temple? Of course, it is a certain utilitarian angle to it, but that is what people are asking, and we need to talk along those lines. Say, what are the benefits? How can you benefit from going to a temple? How can you benefit by doing certain things in your home, which have been in our culture for long? So those are the things that we are focusing on through these videos and workshops. Of course, I also have this homestay, which I'm doing only once a month now, with limited people. Um, so we'll look at the questions. The Astro Journey asks, please help us understand 9 avatars related to Sadhguru Shribrahma in his ashram. There was a puja on days dedicated to 9 avatars. Can you please explain about them? So, yeah, I also saw that it's not avatars, it's the lineage of the Guru. So Sadhguru Shri Brahma is the ninth in the lineage. I think somebody who's managing the social media did not get proper instructions from Jayaprakash Swami. It's not avatars, it's the lineage. So lineage need not be succession, as in, okay, somebody has passed away and immediately somebody comes. That's not how it is. So this starts from Lord Ganesha. He is the first in the lineage of Sadhguru Shribrahma. And then comes Subramanya, Kartikeya, Muruga, then Agastyamuni, then Guru Pita Muni, Sadguru Muni, Jagamuni, Atmanada Muni, Sarvalokanatha Muni, and then ninth comes Sadgurunatha Muni. This is the lineage, it's not the avatars. Agir Chandu 1537 is asking, can we take destiny in our hands or is it judged by astrology? I think this is coming after the Thatha Talks series started. I had explained in the fourth episode about this. Sadhguru has written a beautiful poem. I just made a note of it called Destiny. Destiny is not a done thing. It is a string that makes a garland of flower, bead, or bone. You may wear it now or later, here or there, or you may place it upon the bosom of another. But even a flower shall not fall without the tug of the string. So, reading this a few times, you know that he's saying destiny is not fixed. That's how it starts. Destiny is not a done thing. Then, when he ends, he says, even a flower shall not fall without the tug of the string. So, that's the paradox with destiny. There is lots of factors involved. I'd explained briefly in that episode. You can watch that. I'll put the card here later after the stream ends. But yes, there are flexible things that you can change. But then they say that even can you change it or not should also be written. So it's a little catch there. CP, CGPG, CGP Ganesh Kumar 249 is asking, Anna, please help us understand the importance of doing Pitru Karma. I mean, the annual Tithi for the ancestors and its importance. Yes, this also I have made a video on the Pitru Paksha that happens. That whole month is dedicated for us to pay gratitude and do perform rituals for the ancestors. So this scientifically also it is proven that I mean, I don't want to bring in science every now and then, but yes, it has been in our culture. It's not only in that particular month. um, there are like your anniversaries, like somebody has passed away, you can do the tithi, the pitru karma for them on that day also, just in memory of being in gratitude, because today we are here because of our ancestors, because our parents, their grandparents, and so on. So expressing that gratitude is what that whole ritual, the approach is towards that, but there is a systematic ritual and the process that is set up to access that aspect of your ancestors. Um, Even if not that particular Pitru Paksha, every day, like how my mother, I remember, used to keep food outside after cooking. The crows have to eat, only then you get to eat. So we believe that crows come, the ancestors come in the form of crows and have your food. Sadhguru once he was mentioning how if you look at USA, for example, even the teenagers are going through lots of tension, anxiety, depression, the age of 12, 13, 14, and that is primarily, he said, because you have not appeased your ancestors. There he is meaning ancestors, not necessarily their own forefathers, but also the ancestors of the land. So when we do Pitru rituals, there is always a sankalpa for all the beings who have been there before us, not necessarily your own ancestors. For every person who has walked on this planet, you do perform for them also. So this, if you don't do, then you cannot live well, is what Sadhguru said. So the gratitude, and within oneself, one has to come to this, that we are here because of all of their contribution to our lives. So that is about the Pitru. Pranayaja Tarakonda, 1931, is asking, I've heard Sadhguru speaking about the significance of many temples. I would like to know the significance of Thirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, one of the most visited temples of India. Yes, there are so many temples that are there. I have will add this also to my wish list of temple to explore. Yes, I'll make a video about it. Fusion TV JDM is asking, I have Nagadosha and I'm struggling with it. Please tell me what to do or who to consult. I've done till Shunya and my psoriasis went. But along with that, I lost all my finances and I've been struggling since then. Uh, Ramyog Pandey 1112 has replied to it also. Go to any Linga Bhairavi temple. They have process for Nagadosha or visit Nag temple at Sadhguru Sannidhi in Chikballapura. Yes, at Lingabhairavi temple, there are specific rituals for people who have Naga dosha. Naga worship. Actually, I'm working on a video that also should come out in this month. The Naga worship has been very prevalent, especially in the south. You'll see that there is every temple has a Naga Kudumba, Naga's family. So this is usually placed outside the kshetra or the parikrama that you go around. There you will see in one corner there is a space allotted for Naga worship. In Kerala, there used to be kavas. Kavas means sacred groves where Naga was worshipped, either as a deity or just a lamp was lit. And Ailyam is a nakshatra. So in a month, Ailya nakshatra is when they would go to this kava and light a lamp and do the worship. Yes, you can do the Linga Bhairavi. They have a few rituals specifically designed for such issues that you have mentioned. Um, Many times when I see people go to astrologers and they just say that there is Sarpadosha. So it could be related to Rahu Ketu planets or also related to these kind of things. When you skip what your ancestors have been doing, if they have been worshipping Nagas and Naga worship has been happening, and if you leave it, then certain things starts happening. So it usually shows up as hurdles in marriages and hurdles in having children, and many hurdles. Like this is usually that comes up that it's very obvious that you are putting in all the effort, you know everything is okay to whatever extent you can see, but still there is a hurdle. Then you go and consult somebody, they may say that you have a Nagadosha. So there are so many temples where these Nagadosha rituals, Nivarana, pujas are done. I myself am in Nagarkoil, Nagaraja. The city itself, the town itself is named after Nagaraja. This is a 8th, 9th century temple, Hindu and Jain temple combined. They also have every Ailyam, they have major festivity. Even a small temple close to me, there is a Naga temple where every Ailyam it is a huge crowd and people come there and pour milk and put turmeric on the idols and do specific rituals. So that can be done. Let's look at these questions from the live slots. Um, this authentic Rasa Mercury, no, I have no idea. There are lots of people doing it, but there is no way for me to go and verify it. And especially having a linga with you is a very huge responsibility. Not just linga, any deity for that matter. If you have started doing pujas, then it's very important that you keep it up. There is lots of discipline that you need to bring in into your home, in the space. So always it is recommended that unless you are sure that you're going to do this lifelong, don't just start any puja or punaskar inside the house. Um, I've seen people whose grandfathers have been doing it very sincerely throughout their whole life to a saligram or a linga or a deity, and after they pass away, it was not maintained well, and it brings lots of I won't say ill luck, but very lots of negative situations could arise because it becomes a receding force, because it's not, the puja is not being done. You have, somebody has invoked something into that space, into that deity or to that object, and now it's not being taken care of, then there is going to be consequence. So yeah. um, I don't know about sadhana pada. You should, if you feel that you need a direction in life, you should go and join, and then find yourself what your direction in life should be. 6 months, 7 months of dedicated sadhana and volunteering would definitely help. RS4 Artha is asking, how do you research about scriptures which are not available on the internet? So for Sadhguru Shribrahma, we had Vijay Kumar do all the research. For Agastya also, is yet to start. He has some family situation he needs to attend to. Otherwise, he is also starting. So internet is not. I mean, we start off with internet because that's immediately available, but that is not the only reliable source. We do go through scriptures which are there on, which are digitized and kept in libraries, like the London Library is what we accessed for most of the references that we got regarding Sadhguru Sri Brahma. And there are other digitized libraries as well. That's what we do. And we also travel to meet people who hold these ancient books and talk to them, either over the phone or it has to be, it's like through connect. It's totally luck, grace. And we know that many times we are guided, random people sending us copies of ancient books that are with them. That's how most of the information comes. Uh, my Thatha, self-realization. See, my interaction with my Thatha was till I was 17, 16 or 17. So at that age, whatever extent I could understand and remember is what I'm sharing. But yes, being with Sadhguru and being um, having doing the sadhana for the last 22, 23 years now, lots of questions get answered from within. The questions die down, as Sadhguru says, but when you are out there wanting to make content and when you're doing certain research and when you want to share certain things, now suddenly you have a certain ability to connect the dots from reading certain Siddha's books, Thirumala, Thirumandaram, basically, which I started off when I was 16, 17 years old. And so many other things. So over a period of time, you get to connect these dots and then you see, oh, that's what this is all about. So we'll have more and more sessions. Videos on Sadhguru. Thatha talks. We'll cover various aspects, very interesting aspects coming up. Uh, Please tell me something about healing my asthma. 21-year-old boy. I had this problem myself when I was young. Not asthma specifically, but bordering that. But I had wheezing issues. Till I started my sadhana with pranayama. Pranayama helped me a great deal. Pranayama, when I say pranayama, Shakti Chalana Kriya, it used to be called pranayama earlier. That's when it completely took care of it. So I would advise you should start some kind of pranayama, if possible, Shakti Chalana Kriya. That should definitely take care of it. Donating organs, I have no idea about. I know there's a lot of debate going on whether you should or should not donate. I would, till you have reached a certain point where you have attained to a certain realization, which I am not. So I would I would donate my organs, because if somebody is alive, let it be of help to them. Mm. Could you please make a video with more insights into how sadhana can affect one's destiny? Astrology, we have covered that. Um, Is there any plan to build some temple, some structure similar to temple? Krishnapalji, there are thousands and thousands of temple that we need to take care of. Already it is there. One of the free temple movements that Sadhguru started is something that we have to take it up. How many things can he handle alone? It's for us to take it up, and I don't know. Let's see after this election results. Next term, definitely this free temple is one thing that we are all expecting once it comes. There are so many accounts that I follow on Instagram. People, individuals who go to these temples, dilapidated condition, they help even for a single puja to happen. There is no finances. So these are ancient temples consecrated in a certain way, which lack the maintenance. So it's better that we extend our support to go and help these maintaining these temples, the priest community that are there. In spite of this very scarce income that comes, still they are maintaining that. Some way we have to extend our support to them financially, for the upkeep of their own livelihood, and also for the temple's sake, so that many more people can benefit from this. Mm, integrating siddha medicine with modern biotechnology. My tata used to have even modern medicine recommendations. He would send them to nearby clinic. In some cases, I've seen that. So even in Isha rejuvenation, in the way Sadhguru has crafted it, it's not about one system over the other. The ultimate aim is to cure the patient. The patient should become free of whatever ailment they have, and we should not stick to one system. If it's a combination which would work, then accordingly it should be done. Mm. if we go if we go to some in spirituality, ask if we go to some interesting temples or pilgrimage places, what kind of stuff you feel we should cover? Looking for any different ideas you may have apart from the usual vlog stuff? Yes, we should. I will come up with a few things to do, things that are usually recommended in our culture, in our tradition. Before you go to a temple, what are the things you need to do to prepare? In Bali, I noticed how before they go to a temple, they do an elaborate arrangement of specific flowers and fruits and incense and stuff like that. Similarly, in our temples also, there is an elaborate step by step things that you need to do to prepare yourself before you go to the temple. We will cover that. I live in North, uh, sorry, Jaipur, Rajasthan, Vasuki. I visited so many temples here and I do not feel anything. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong. Please tell me how I should visit temple here. That's what we just looked at it. Another thing is, let's not judge a temple by what we feel or not feel, because even as an individual, when I how my system is on a particular day is how I would experience a certain space, not necessarily the nature of the space itself. If I've done all my sadhana, I'm in my empty stomach and I walk in, it's in a certain way. But if I've eaten well and I'm in a certain and full drowsy, food coma state, if I walk into a temple, definitely my experience of that space is going to be different. So, of course, there is a big difference between the south and the north temples, because here they have created using the whole agamic shastra. Even there they were, but lots of major temples have been destroyed. They were rebuilt over a period of time, and the new temples are not created according to agamas. They stick to certain scriptural guidelines, and then they create it through mantra pradishta. Um, I don't want to create controversies by talking about these things, but marble, creating deities with marble is definitely not ideal thing when you want to do pradishta, mantra pradishta. In the south, in the agamas, it's mentioned what kind of density of stone you have to granite you have to choose when you are selecting for the main deity. Um, Even for Ayodhya Ramlala, they chose granite for a specific reason. So maybe the way they are consecrated also could impact our experience of the space. Of course, having a certain sadhana is very much needed for us to experience these things. Um, because without this instrument of our body, we won't be able to experience the kshetra or the temple. The difference between a guru and a teacher, that's one thing that I want to talk about in the Thatha talks, because my Tata used to be a guru for his disciples, but he refused to initiate me or teach me anything which bordered into kriyas. And he said, "You'll meet your guru," and refused to teach those things. So, a teacher, you'll meet so many teachers in your life, even your school teachers, or even somebody who you're meeting on the road who teaches you something, or the other. A guru is somebody who makes a bigger impact in terms of your transformation in your life, energy wise. And a guru has to be an alchemist who changes the very chemistry of who you are, and never lets you go forever. That's more important. Guru stays forever. Can you share one simple sadhana that you follow throughout your day? Usually, I don't talk about what sadhana I do. Uh, but yeah, one thing that I keep up is my breath watching sadhana. Throughout the day, I take when I'm involved in editing or shooting or I'm traveling, I make sure to close my eyes at least for a few seconds and remind myself and just get into that zone of watching your breath. That's something that I use for my grounding. And of course, the morning sadhana is there and evening is there. Who is your guru? Of course, Sadhguru. I Many people have this question because I don't talk much about him. Uh, I don't know. This is individual preferences. Many people talk every line they say they talk, but for me it is for me is there always. So don't mention him often. Kundalini yoga, I don't know. Will it clear your trauma and head? Kundalini yoga is not for treating uh, ailments. That much I know. And I am learning astrology. Aravindan is asking, I have predicted some future events of me and my dearest ones, especially negative predictions. How can I make use of it? Please, I don't know how much of an expert you have become in the astrology thing. But if you are seeing anything negative, please don't go and tell people, because there's nothing worse than telling people that this is what is going to happen to you. If you are mature enough, you will handle situations in such a way that you can avoid certain things. You should approach somebody who knows better astrology than you and see what can be done in terms of rituals. Of course, there are so many people who are doing rituals just namesake for business sake, and it may not be effective. So then people go around doing this and then they finally give up saying it's not effective doing all these rituals. So I don't want you to get into that mode also. People spend all their money just doing rituals and nothing happened. So choosing the right person to consult your situation and then approach the right place to go and do a ritual for this would help. And above all, doing a sadhana, doing some kind of sadhana which involves your energies, like a kriya, can lessen the effect of it. I don't know what kind of situations you have predicted, but definitely this can reduce the impact of this situation that you are predicting. How can you, how Solid is asking, how can one know who's Kula Devata? Is there any way or any temple where we can know? Yes, this Kuldeva worship is something that is, I'm making a video on that as well after the Naga worship. Kuldevata is very important. This 80 percentage of the Hindus in Bharat, they have their own Kuldevatas, their Ishtadevatas, and that's how this whole thing functions as one big entity of Sanatana Dharma. Today, the focus is going on just few specific major temples and a few rituals. No, this is like when we say 33 million gods and goddesses, this involves all the Kul Devis, Kul Devatas of this land. If you have lost touch with Kul Devatas, you should. I mean, here there are people in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Please don't send me requests to name people. There are, like, when they say that you have gotten this longing to meet or know who your Kul Devata is, then you have to start searching. And in that search, how much sincere you are, they say the Kul Devata reveals herself or himself to you. So this I've seen myself for a handful of people who came searching, and I accompanied them also. So it's not one specific person you go to and then he reveals everything. You have to go to a few people can access, cannot, they may give clues, and then you go to the next place. So it's better to start from your ancestral village where you belong to and ask your grandparents or parents. That's the best place to start to find your Kul Devata. Can you translate one episode of Sadhguru Shribrahma into English? I think it's all translated to English, isn't it? Subtitled. Hmm, I lost the track. Okay. When did you stay and why did I leave? I think some personal stuff we should leave it to me. Yes, I still do all the practices. Okay, so I uh, I lived there for 13 years, and then still working for them for another 3 years from outside. Um, so there is no leaving a space. There are questions where Sadhguru has addressed. Why do you feel that you are leaving the ashram? Carry the ashram within you. So there is a space is needed for you initially, for like a scaffolding, like a cocoon, where you can go there and certain transformation. You're doing certain work for your transformation, and after that, not necessarily the scaffolding is needed. I'm not saying I don't need it. I still go whenever I go to Coimbatore. I visit the ashram, but due to some personal reasons, I'm out. Does Lord Murugan have any significance in the life of Sadhguru Sri Brahma or any connections from your research? There is no direct connection, but the lineage after Ganesha is Subramanya. So the lineage itself is such. And when I'm going into Agastya's life, I see that this whole Skanda Puran, the Guru Puja that we do, the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu verses, it's all from Guru Gita, which is from the conversation between Agastyamuni and Subramanya or Kartikeya. So there is a huge connection. All the Guru lineage, they go back to Subramanya and Agastya Muni and Shiva, of course. Um, so specific connection, we don't know. The lineage is part of that lineage. Namaskaram, Dikshit Kumar. I have seen a video of Buddhist person who leaves his body consciously. Does every yogi like Sadhguru, etc., leave their body like that? Even today, that is there, especially the Shivananda Paramahamsa, his lineage, the Brahma Vidya, people who practice it. Even now, there are videos. If you go online, you will see that people are consciously preparing the pit, and then they either sit just next to the pit and then leave, or go inside and then they sit with the eyes closed, and then they put all the ash and turmeric and all that and close. It's very much a process that is existent even today. It's just that they don't advertise much. Buddhists definitely maybe they're doing it, but here I have watched a few videos which are around Pollachi, Coimbatore, the Brahma Vidya people, the disciples of Vadagara Shivananda. They still do that. They consciously announce the day of their departure, and then they leave the body. Mm, Sonal Khatri, does learning Jyotish and doing readings for people affect the karmas of the person doing readings and hinder his spiritual growth? It depends what you are. If your profession itself is that, then you do it in a certain way. But if you are just doing it on the side, and the risk with Jyotish Shastra is just this, that you start becoming like you know what is going to happen. You become like almost that godlike thing, and you start talking about those things to people. You start feeling big within you, which is definitely not conducive for spiritual growth for that individual, especially on the spiritual path. Like when Sadhguru says, if he sees somebody doing this, he's going to put them back by 100 lifetimes. The thing is, either he's going to do that or not. The thing is, it's not good for the individual who is on the spiritual path, because when some kind of energy starts arising within you, of course the voltage starts revealing so many things. If you start talking everything, then it's not good for you. So that's why people on the path, after they go so to a certain level, they go into silence. They talk less, because it's not necessary to constantly tell these things to people. Oh, is it not good to save people by telling them what's going to go? Most of the times, if you go and tell them, either they're going to freak out, or that fear itself is going to eat them up, and they're not going to do the necessary things to avoid that as well. So most of the times it's going to cause damage than help. So unless you are involved in that profession, it's better not to get into that. Even if you feel intuitively certain things that are happening, it's better to become silent. What are your feelings about Devi Upasana, Prajwal Joseph? I've not done Devi Upasana, but yes, at Lingabhairavi Devi temple, they do Devi Upasana every year. I think even otherwise, there are so many Sri Vidya Upasakas, the sadhanas that they do. I've interacted with a few people. Um, some kind of upasana is good to have, um, apart from the kriyas that you do. Um, Either it is Shivanga sadhana or Devi Upasana or any other sadhana, upasana, it's good to have. Mm, Yeah, Vishesh Singh, Namaskaramana, in the Isha Kriya introductory video, Sadhguru talks about Koorma Nadi. Can you elaborate? We know about Koorma Nadi only to the extent Sadhguru has spoken about it. So, when it comes to the temples, that one thing that somebody was sharing with me about Koorma being the turtle. Um, so that indicates the Nadi, which connects you with your body, the Prana Nadi. So it's an indication that's there in most of the temples. There is a turtle in front of the Vahana or the Balipidam. You notice a turtle, and that's an indication that you be focused there before you enter that space. So, apart from that, apart from what he says about how Koorma Nadi is the out of the 72,000 nadis, this is the nadi which connects us as a life to this body. So, the yogis who want to leave their body at will, he says, have to master that nadi so that they can just leave at will. Mm. Are there any ways to protect ourselves from black magic? Nitin Yadav. I'm asking this because one of my acquaintances is continuously undergoing this issue and they aren't sadhakas either. Um, Wearing a rudraksh is one thing that can protect, but when it gets a little too much, you can talk to people at the Isha Yoga Center. At Dhyana Linga, there are specific days in a month where you can go and sit in the Dhyana Linga at a certain angle. And I think Sadhguru has also prescribed, I'm not sure about this exact thing, but Amavasya and Paurnamis, I think 5 Amavasyas or 5 Paurnamis like that, you come continuously, sit there, spend 2 3 hours inside the Dhyana Linga. And of course, doing kriyas and sadhana is one way to protect oneself. And then upasanas as well, Devi Upasana. There are rituals at the Lingabhairavi temple as well that can be done. Mm, Sleep paralysis, I don't know much here. Be best asks Namaskaramanna, shed light on sleep paralysis. I had frequent experiences during sleep, especially on those days when I do more meditation. Please talk on this. There are lots of articles, research that has been done on this scientifically, but in the culture, they say it's like a story that they say. We don't know if it's true or not. We call this in Tamil Amukku Pisas, the ghost which comes and presses you from the top. So you feel paralyzed. Suddenly you are awake, but you can't move your hands or legs. You can't speak. So that momentarily, like few seconds or few minutes, it happens. Um, they say it could happen because of the if you're sleeping with your blanket over your head, because of the buildup of carbon dioxide could happen. Nobody has exactly pinpointed why it happens, but it's various other factors which are involved. I don't think it's a ghost coming and doing, because I've had my roommate in my college days go through this few times. Then we just started lighting a lamp in the room and all that, and then it went away. I don't know how it's connected, but keeping the space in a certain way, and also before you go to sleep, doing little bit of Sukha Kriya, those things will definitely help. Benefits of semen retention. Every spiritual guru, every at least in Bharat, they have spoken about this. It's very important. Um, like Sadhguru has also spoken in great detail about this. If you want to grow your capabilities as a human being, then retaining your semen becomes important. Um, I what I know from about this topic is only from what I've heard and read in books. But definitely the benefits are there. There's no denying that. Of course, there are anti, people who talk against this also. But I've seen this, the power of somebody who has, they call this Shukla Bandha, and person who has retained it. How he functions, how he thinks and performs is totally different from somebody who is, like Sadhguru says, instead of, you don't want to leak your energies from your lower chakras. You want to build it up so that it spills through the topmost chakra. So yes, that is. See, this is biologically it is there that this whole thing is for our procreation and to keep humanity, human beings, um, uh, procreate their next generation. But beyond that, then it becomes an obsession, a mental thing, which is definitely not the conducive thing for somebody who's on the spiritual path. So, Priyanka, so Kuldevata, which is known in the larger community, is that the one for our family? Or would there be a different one specific to us or a family that we might not know of? So, this is Kuldevata is for your family, a larger family, your own relatives, maybe your cousins, distant cousins, everybody will have a Kuldevata that you'll have to talk to your parents, grandparents to know about this. Even in one of the darshans, somebody asked, "Can we take Linga Bhairavi Devi as our Kuldevata?" Sadhguru said, "No. There is specific Kuldevata which is designed and established, consecrated for your particular genetic material, and you have to take care of the Kuldevata. It's very important." Chinmay Patel, Namaskaram Anna. Have you met Sadhguru and spoken to him anytime, and how was it? It was wonderful. 15 years, 13 years. Uh, yes, I've interacted closely, and today, whatever I am is all because of him. How was it? Kechari Vidya Mudra, does Isha teach this? See, these are all because now with Google, everybody is Googling everything and finding all these advanced practices are out there. And one best thing is that nobody has the discipline to practice it continuously. And then, but otherwise, if somebody starts doing these things by reading something on the net, I have myself gone through this when I was 18, 19 years old, and messed up the whole digestive system, and I couldn't even sit straight. I was like this for like 15, 20 days, and I was admitted in the hospital, couldn't ingest anything, just because I did some kriya and the kundalini yoga, something combined. I combined it on my own with the pranayama and did a khichdi of it, and it did khichdi of my body. So it's not advisable. Yes, Kechari is a very powerful practice, but it's taught only to advanced practitioners after they have done certain basic things. Alexandro says Ganapati Upasana stopped all sleep paralysis episodes that I had in the past. Good to know. Prajwal Joseph, how long has it taken for general for you to train your discrimination? I'm asking because I have a tendency to react rather than respond at certain times. See, it's not a established thing. Even now, like, your guru keeps putting you in constant difficult situations, and life situations keep pushing you. There is no like, okay, now I have reached a certain point. Every situation you have to be aware and respond to it and not react to it. That is an ongoing thing. There is no such thing as, okay, I have arrived. It's a work in progress. Jeevakanni Shazad Absolution. We attempted translating Jeevakanni, which is Sadhguru Shribrahma's poetry. Very highly evolved, just two lines, but it's so cryptic in nature that we didn't want to mess up. Somebody who is evolved, who could understand what he is talking about, should be doing the translation. So we approached a few people. We did a sample translation, but we were not satisfied because we know they are not understanding or bringing out the essence of what Sadhguru Sri Brahma has sung in that. So we are waiting for somebody who, there is somebody in Isha who is attempting, who is working on it. Hopefully, he would come out with the English translation. Mm. Arvin, Arvin, Namaskaram. Can you share the significance of Mount Kailash and if you have been there? Yes, I was there in 2007 or 8 with Sadhguru. It is a or a powerhouse which is buzzing all the time. That's how it is. But I don't have the capability to decipher what Sadhguru was deciphering. So I just participated in whatever he was doing processes. But after coming back from Kailash, almost for a month, I couldn't speak to people. Like I was a teacher at that point of time, and fortunately, there were no classes. But I couldn't talk to people. The very need to interact with people was gone, and you couldn't relate to all these happenings, busy Mumbai, traffic, and people. And then you realize what impact Kailash has made to you. Because I think the impact of it is much more deeper than our senses, into our whatever the deeper aspects of our energy body. That it's not evident right there. It is that it hits you, but the larger impact of Kailash is more evident after you come back. And then you see how it plays out in your life. Then you could connect to the impact of what Kailash is doing. Hmm. Utkarsh Singh, how was life shifting from brahmacharya way of life back to coming out of it? Once you have, as Sadhguru says, once you have sat in front of him even for a moment, then there is no such thing as privacy, or he ensures liberation, but there is no such thing as privacy in our life. He still controls my life. That's how I see it. People can debate it, dismiss it, but for me, it's a moment to moment reality, and that's how I would like to keep it. There is no leaving a space and coming out. When once you have sat with somebody like him, his space is pervading the whole earth or cosmos, you can say. So there is no way you can escape that. He's caught you by the neck. So yeah, shifting out, yes, it was difficult in terms of handling outside situations. That way, it was a little difficult. But then you have gone through enough that you can handle anything in life. If that I took as a challenge, that if really what he's teaching is working, you will know only if it is put to test in your life. And more than 100%, yes, it works. Hmm. When will we have part two of Sadhguru Shribrahma documentary, Dilip Kumar Sharma? We have released part two. It is just that it is merged with the earlier 8 episodes and become 14 episodes. So please go and watch it. Does Sadhguru teach Rasa Vidya, Indian alchemy? I don't know of him teaching it. How do I remember things for my exams? Santosh is asking. How should the ancient priests know the scriptures and recite by memory without writing it on books? Yeah, that's the kind of memory that these people have. I recently shot a Veda Padashala in the Art of Living ashram in Bangalore. So I interacted with them. I interviewed a few people. They had memorized the whole scriptures. You know, the written format has come only now. It's all um, vocal. That's how it was transmitted from generation to generation. It's amazing. I don't know how that kind of memory that these people could have. Santosh, I'm also on your side. I can't remember things that happened yesterday. So, wrong person to ask about improving memory power. We are almost there. 7:30. We'll just have a few other couple of questions. How to be consistent in our daily sadhana? Like Sadhguru says, just don't do it for life. Just do it today. Today, make sure you do it before you step out of your house for anything else. Mm. No one has asked, will our horoscope have some signs about getting enlightenment or spiritual growth? See, the horoscope is all about this body, and the spiritual process is not about the body. Distancing yourself from the body, and the growth is for the being that lives or has taken this body. So don't rely on astrology for all those things. Um, Dilip Kumar Sharma is asking, how can we help you in doing some volunteering for you? Any way I can help with money? Yes, we need. All the work that I'm doing right now, I do videos, commercial projects for temples in the US. We make videos for them. In the US, one thing that I've noticed is people have built huge temples there. Uh, Not similar to the ones here, but in their own way. But this was 40, 50 years back. This generation that is there, they are born, brought up there. They are more Americans than Americans. They don't know how to be in a temple. Some kids I saw were going anti-clockwise, apradakshina they were going. So I saw that this is a need that needs to be handled, and I started suggesting that we make videos that can be played before people enter, like how in Isha we have. Whoever comes, they should have a video So I started doing these commercial videos for a couple of temples. So we can do that. That's one thing which is funding me. And I also do these yatras. Sadhguru Shribrahma Yatra is coming up in October. The information is up there in the website. I am also planning to do a Tatvamasi Bali trip in August, but it'll be a very small group, like around 14 people max. So I'm not going to announce it because already there are a few people who are there. I will update it in the website. If you are interested, you can join. The pricing also will be approximately calculated and put up in the next couple of days. This will be like Bharat to Bali, to experience Bharat, how it was 1,000 years ago. That's the theme that would be. And of course, these workshops we will start doing. I have Tatvamasi Dharmic Trust. If you are within India, you can donate. On the website, the links are there. You can do that. Coming to Australia, na Tyagasana coming. You get together a group of people, 10, 15 people will come there, do the workshops. I want to do these workshops on a paid basis in outside the country, but in India we would want to do it in a minimal basis because this awareness has to spread. If we are also planning to do for schools, and there are Samaya Vagapus in these temples where Sunday schools happen. So there we are doing it for free. This awareness about why I'm going to a temple has to come. Otherwise, people going to the temples are going to reduce. So yeah, these are the many things that I'm doing apart from making the documentaries and videos. That's why I'm very irregular. We'll try and do these lives once a month and keep updated. For members, I have not done anything. My apologies for that. But yes, you have been supportive by joining the channel. You're contributing monthly. So the Patreon also, people are there who are supporting monthly. Yeah. So the last question. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining the live. And what are the other things? That's it. So if you want to keep updated on what I'm doing and stuff, please go to www.tatvamasi-premkv.com. Subscribe to the newsletter, and you'll get monthly updates on what we are up to. And do some kind of sadhana. If you're not an Isha meditator, Isha meditators, what you have been given is so valuable. Don't skip it. Keep it on, and we'll see you soon. Namaskar.